2nd PUC 2024-25, English Model Question Paper 3. Subject, English maximum marks, 80. Time, 3 hours. Number of questions, 36. Part A. First, answer the following questions by choosing the right option. Marks 1 each.
1. In the poem Romeo and Juliet, would make the face of heaven very fine. A. Romeo. B. Ethiop. C. Snowy dove. D. Juliet. Answer. A. Romeo. 2. The total annual expenditure for keeping the criminal in the prison in 2 dear came up to francs. A. 16,000. B. 12,000. C. 7,000. D. 600. Answer. D. 600. 3. According to the poet of On Children, dwell in the house of tomorrow. A. The children's souls. B. The parents. C. The parents' souls. D. The children's bodies. Answer. A. The children's souls. 4. Match the following according to the play A Sunny Morning and choose the right option from the given combinations. A. B. A. Dona Laura 1. Handsome and refined. B. Don Gonzalo 2. Plays havoc with the nursemaids. C. Juanito 3. Gouty and impatient. Answer. A. 1. B. 3. C. 2. 5. In the story, the gardener invites scholars, poets, and musicians to her place. A. Tammana. B. The owner of the farm. C. Basavia. D. The owner's wife. Answer. C. Basavia. 6. Borges calls. So intimate and so essential. A. Poetry. B. Books. C. Metaphors. D. Symbols. Answer. A. Poetry. 7. The narrator of Japan and Brazil through a traveler's eye meets a deer which bows to him properly and courteously at A. Tokyo. B. Nara. C. Osaka. D. Copacabana. Answer. B. Nara. 8. Consider the 2 statements from the story, The Voter, and answer the question which follows. Statement 1. Whether or not we cast our paper for Marcus, PP will continue to rule. Statement 2. I will cast my vote for Maduka, if not this thee take note. A. Both the statements are given by Roof. B. Only statement 1 is given by Roof. C. Only statement 2 is given by Roof. D. Both the statements are not given by Roof. Answer. A. Both the statements are given by Roof. 9. The famous cycling song is written by, as mentioned in the article, Where There's a Wheel. A. N. Kanamil. B. S. Kanakarajan. C. Muthu Bhaskaran. D. Jamila Bibi. Answer. C. Muthu Bhaskaran. 10. According to the poem Water, water can sit innocently in A. Well. B. Bisleri bottle. C. Water pot. D. Puddle. Answer. B. Bisleri bottle. 11. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate passive form of the verb given in the brackets. Marks 1 each. The old man came to this garden one day. The owner of the plantation, satisfy, by the work of the old man. Various measures. Take, by the old man to improve the garden. Gradually farming. Neglect, by the owner. Answer. Was satisfied were taken, was neglected. 12. Fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate expressions given in brackets. Marks 1 each. The criminal said that the rulers of Monaco had ruined his character and people would on him, and in addition, he had got of working out of the way, get rid of, turn their backs. Answer. Turn their backs, rid of. 13. Read the following paragraph and match the underlined pronouns inside A with the nouns/noun phrases inside B they refer to. Marks 1 each. Mary makes it a point to go for a morning walk along with her A. dog Daniel every day. Both of them enjoy this activity as it B. rejuvenates their spirits for the whole day. They C. walk for about 5 kilometers. Daniel is cheerful and he D. gives Mary a secure feeling on their walk. Peter, her husband, had trained him well. Peter works for the army in the hilly region where E. he was posted 5 years ago. A. Pronouns. B. Nouns/noun phrases. A. Her one. Peter. B. It two. Hilly region. C. They three. Mary's. D. He four. Daniel. E. Where five. Morning walk. 6. Mary and Daniel. Answer. A. Pronouns. B. Nouns/noun phrases. A. Her 3. Mary's. B. It 5. Morning walk. C. They 6. Mary and Daniel. D. He 4. Daniel. E. Where 2. Hilly region. Part B. 2. Answer any 3 of the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences each. Marks 2 each. 14. Mention any 2 images to which Romeo compares Juliet in the poem Romeo and Juliet.
Answer. In Romeo and Juliet, Romeo compares Juliet to several vivid images. First, he likens her to a rich jewel in an Ethiopia, symbolizing her rare and dazzling beauty that shines even more brightly against a dark background. Secondly, he compares her to a snowy dove among crows, emphasizing her purity and elegance, suggesting that she is far more graceful and flawless than anyone around her. These comparisons highlight Juliet's extraordinary beauty in Romeo's eyes.
15. Why parents should try to become like children according to the poem on children.
Answer. In the poem On Children by Khalil Gibran, parents should try to become like children to better understand their children's pure and untainted nature. By embracing the childlike qualities of innocence and openness, parents can nurture their children's individuality without imposing their own desires. This allows parents to appreciate their children's freedom and unique path in life.
16. Which are the 2 most popular courses at Vandana Shiva's Earth University?
Answer. The 2 most popular courses at Vandana Shiva's Earth University are typically considered to be the AZ of Organic Farming and Agroecology, and Gandhi and Globalization.
17. If books disappear, surely history would disappear. Evaluate this statement of George Louis Borges.
Answer. Borges believes that books are humanity's most remarkable invention, essential for preserving history and culture. He argues that, despite the rise of new technologies, books will remain vital as they are the carriers of knowledge, ideas, and the collective memory of society.
3. Answer any 4 of the following questions in about 60 words each. Marks 3 each. 18. How does Tagore's Tapovan prove that the forests have been source of rejuvenation for Indian civilization? Answer. In his essay, Tapovan, Tagore emphasizes that the forest has been the source of both material and intellectual regeneration for Indian civilization. He suggests that India's greatest ideas have emerged from the quiet solitude of nature, away from the distractions of cities. The peace of the forest, with its ever-changing rhythms of seasons, sounds, and smells, has nurtured intellectual and spiritual growth. Tagore asserts that this connection to nature helped shape a culture based on unity in diversity and democratic pluralism, which became foundational principles of Indian civilization. Thus, the forest has been central to the renewal and development of Indian society. 19. How does Laura kill herself in the story narrated by her in A Sunny Morning? Dona Laura recounts a heartbreaking story to Don Gonzalo, shared by her friend who had waited almost a year for news of him. One afternoon, at sunset, with the first stars beginning to appear, she walked to the beach where Gonzalo had once risked his life. There, she wrote his name in the sand, a gesture of remembrance and love, and sat on a rock, gazing out at the horizon. The waves whispered a mournful song, slowly creeping up toward her. As the tide rose with a powerful boom, it swept her into the sea, symbolizing the tragic and uncontrollable forces of fate. This scene captures both the depth of the maiden's devotion and the inevitability of her fate, as the sea, a powerful and indifferent force, claims her in the end. 20. Describe the uniqueness of the poet's love as expressed in the poem, When You Are Old. Answer. The narrator/speaker asks his lady love to presume that she has grown old and gray and is sitting by the fire nodding. Then he asks her to read from her book of memories and reminisce about her past when she was in her prime youth. While she is thus engaged in recalling her past, the poet reminds her that though she undoubtedly had a great many suitors who admired her beauty and elegance and professed love, which may be true or false, he alone loved her unconditionally. He says that he loved her in her beauty and even the fading away of her youth and beauty. The phrase, "how many" in the first line, second stanza, stands in contrast to "but one man" in the third line, second stanza. While many suitors loved her beauty and elegance, he alone loved her pilgrim soul as well as the sorrows of her changing face. Short brief explanation. 21. Trace the path of the child's foot after it gets defeated in the battle, in the poem, to the foot from its child. Answer. To the foot from its child traces the journey of a foot as it grows from a child's innocent, soft foot into a worn and hardened adult foot. The foot first encounters a realization that it is limited by its role. It cannot transform into something different, like a butterfly or an apple. Confined within a shoe, the foot is exposed to life's harsh realities and gradually loses its beauty, becoming calloused and rough, like eyeless reptiles. As the adult foot walks tirelessly through life, laboring in fields, markets, and mines, it sacrifices comfort and pleasure for work. Eventually, the foot dies and is buried. As it descends into the earth, the foot loses its human awareness and is no longer conscious of its existence as a foot. Yet, in its spiritual form, it returns to the innocence of its childlike state, dreaming of becoming something pure and free, like a butterfly or an apple, symbolizing a longing for transcendence and escape from suffering. 22. Why does Kuvempu feel that the heaven is on earth only in the poem Heaven If You Are Not Here on Earth? Answer. Kuvempu's perspective on concepts like God, nymphs, and heaven challenges traditional religious and mythological views, suggesting that these are human-made constructs. He argues that the idea of heaven, often imagined as a place beyond earth, is an illusion, and that if heaven truly exists, it is found right here on earth. To illustrate this, Kuvempu directs our attention to the beauty and serenity of nature, claiming that the natural world itself embodies the essence of heaven. The streams that cascade down hills, the waves crashing on shores, the sunlight filtering through green forests, and the warm embrace of the sun on the earth, all of these, he argues, are far more divine and heavenly than any imagined paradise. In doing so, he invites us to recognize the sacredness and beauty of the world around us, urging us to find heaven in nature rather than in mythological fantasies.
23. Comment on the difficulty of pedestrians in crossing the road in Brazil as explained in Japan and Brazil through a traveler's eye.
Answer. In Japan and Brazil through a traveler's eye, Crossing the road in Brazil is described as a perilous challenge for pedestrians. The chaotic traffic and drivers' frequent disregard for pedestrian crossings make walking across the street a risky task. Pedestrians must rely on precise timing and sometimes even a sense of daring to navigate safely. The author portrays Brazilian streets as largely unfriendly to pedestrians, with drivers prioritizing their own speed and convenience over the safety of those on foot. 4. Answer any 3 of the following questions in about 100 words each. Marks 4 each. 24. Write a note on the gaming house in Monaco as described in 2 Dear. Answer. The king's special revenue was the percentage of profit given by the gaming house keeper to the king. Its beneficiaries were the king, his ministers, courtiers, servants, a bishop, generals, and the army. The Germans stopped gaming houses because these establishments caused much harm to people. If a man went to a gaming house to try his luck, risking all he had and lost it, he might even gamble with money that did not belong to him. If he lost that as well, he could be driven to suicide, either by drowning or shooting himself in despair. It benefited Monaco, as it was the only kingdom that allowed a gaming house to operate.
25. Describe the ill-natured prelude to the meeting between Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo in the play, A Sunny Morning. Answer. In A Sunny Morning, the initial meeting between Donna Laura and Don Gonzalo is marked by rudeness and tension. Don Gonzalo approaches the birds near Donna Laura's bench, prompting her to angrily warn him to be careful. Upon hearing her cry, Don Gonzalo asks if she intends to speak to him. When Donna Laura explains that he scared the birds away, he dismisses her concern, saying he doesn't care about the birds. She responds that she does care, which is why she was complaining. Don Gonzalo tries to snub her, stating it's a public park. Donna Laura, seeking to challenge him, asks why he complains about priests taking his bench. He dismisses her question rudely, claiming they've never met and she has no right to address him. This exchange leads Donna Laura to perceive him as an ill-natured man.
26. Evaluate the methods adopted by Tammana and Basavaya to defeat each other. Answer. When Tammana realized that the rivalry between him and Basavaya had reached its peak, particularly after Basavaya had forcibly taken away 200 acres of his land and even fenced it off, he devised a plan to completely ruin Basavaya. Tammana composed ballads about his bitter experiences with Basavaya, singing them before the public and exposing Basavaya's cruelty and meanness. His reputation as an artist grew rapidly, attracting critics and scholars who translated his songs. As Tammana's popularity increased, Basavaya's humiliation deepened. In an attempt to regain his dignity, Basavaya focused on acquiring material wealth. He built a grand mansion, adorned himself with gold, diamonds, and precious stones, and began hosting scholars, poets, and musicians. However, one day, Tammana fell ill. This news brought joy to Basavaya, as Tammana's misfortune seemed like his own triumph. Tammana, realizing this, sought yet another way to punish Basavaya. He decided that if Basavaya believed he had died, he would be completely defeated. Therefore, Tammana left the village, abandoning all his property, and walked away hundreds of miles. When Basavaya later learned that Tammana was gone, he had no reason to live and died in despair. 27. Why the people of Umuofia did not want to vote Marcus Ibe for free for the second time in the story The Voter? Answer. In this short story, Chinua Achebe offers a satirical critique of the political system in modern African countries, particularly Nigeria. The protagonist, Rufus Okeke Ruf, is more politically savvy than the illiterate, poor, and backward villagers of Umuofia. Though they live under a democratic government, the villagers are unaware of the true power of their vote and the value of their mandate. When election time arrives, the village overwhelmingly votes for the People's Alliance Party, electing Honorable Marcus Ibe as their representative. Marcus Ibe, a former Minister of Culture, is expected to be re-elected, given the absence of a strong opposition. Roof, a seasoned election campaigner, warns Ibe that a shift has occurred in the villagers' mindset since the last election. Over the past 5 years, the villagers have observed that politics has brought wealth, titles, and honors to those they elected, while they themselves remain poor and uneducated. The irony is that the people who empowered these officials remain ignorant, unaware that a doctorate degree does not necessarily make one a medical doctor. Realizing the power of their vote, the villagers are now ready to use it differently. 28. What are the advantages of riding bicycle for the women of Pudukkottai as mentioned in the article, where there's a wheel? Answer. The introduction of cycling in Pudukkottai district has significantly transformed the lives of rural women, offering them a path out of restrictive, male-imposed routines. Prior to this, women were overwhelmed with economic, social, and familial duties. Many young mothers had to help earn the family income while also managing domestic chores, including childcare and fetching water from distant sources. Even for tasks like selling agricultural produce, they relied on men to transport it to the bus stop, limiting their independence. Their immobility created major obstacles as they had to walk long distances to perform basic tasks, restricting their freedom and time. However, once they learned to ride bicycles, these women gained a new sense of autonomy. Cycling allowed them to manage their daily responsibilities more efficiently and independently. This newfound freedom boosted their confidence, as they no longer had to rely on others for transportation. The ability to cycle also gave them a strong sense of self-respect, empowering them to break traditional gender barriers. 29. Criticize the various implied discriminations expressed in the poem Water. Answer. In the poem Water, the speaker highlights the stark contrast between the lives of Dalits and upper castes, using water as a symbol of inequality and injustice. The Dalit Panchama, denied the right to draw water directly from the well, must wait all day for a Shudra to fill his pot. This reflects the caste-based segregation that dictates access to basic resources. The Wada girl's experience of receiving water from a distance, with some spilling on her body, underscores the humiliation Dalits faced, as they were considered untouchable and polluted even by water. The speaker then recalls the defiance of Karamketu Suvartama, who raised her vessel to protect a Dalit boy from Kama youths who tried to prevent him from safeguarding the village's drinking water from contamination. This act of resistance highlights the injustice Dalits faced when claiming their rights. The speaker contrasts the thirst of the Wada residents, who lacked water, with the abundance of water enjoyed by the upper caste villagers, who bathe freely. Recalling her own childhood, the speaker describes the physical toll of walking miles to fetch water. The poem concludes with the tragic image of Dalit homes in Malapal burning down due to the absence of water to extinguish the fire. Part C. 30a. Read the following passage and answer the questions set on it. Marks 1 each. It may seem like nothing can live in a desert because it's so dry. But most deserts are full of life, with plants and animals that have adapted to survive without much water. Some plants, like cacti, store enough water in their stems to last until the next rain. Tribes that live in deserts are often nomadic, which means that they don't stay in one place for very long and instead move around a lot to find new resources. These people also often farm and herd cattle and other animals which are well adapted to desert life. Deserts often have harsh conditions such as high winds, sandstorms, and rugged terrain, which can make it difficult to travel and survive. Fennec foxes are well adapted for life in African and Arabian deserts. Their pale fur camouflages them against the sand, It also grows on the bottoms of their feet to give them traction while running in the sand and protects their feet from the hot desert surface. The Arctic and Antarctic are referred to as polar deserts. 20% of the total deserts have sand on their surfaces. Cold deserts have a very low temperature in comparison to hot deserts and are covered with snow or ice. The largest cold desert on Earth is Antarctica. The Sahara is a desert spanning across North Africa. With an area of 9,200,000 square kilometers, it is the largest hot desert in the world and the third largest desert. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is an arid region in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent that covers an area of 200,000 square kilometers in India and Pakistan. 1. Choose the statement which is wrong according to the given passage. A. The Thar Desert is in India and Pakistan. B. There are cold deserts and hot deserts. C. Nomadic tribes move searching for new resources. D. Nothing can live in a desert because it is so dry.
Answer. D. Nothing can live in a desert because it is so dry.
2. Name one of the polar deserts.
Answer. Antarctica or Arctic.
3. Which is the largest hot desert?
Answer. The Sahara Desert.
4. What do fennec foxes use to protect their feet?
Answer. Their fur, which grows on the bottoms of their feet.
5. Where do the cacti save their water?
Answer. In their stems.
6. What is the area of the Indian desert mentioned in the passage?
Answer. 200,000 kilometers.
7. Name any one of the harsh climate conditions of a desert.
Answer. Sandstorms or high winds or rugged terrain.
8. The adapt of the animals to their habitat is very crucial.
Answer. Adaptation.
Fill in the blank with the right form of the word given in the brackets. 9. Which term in the passage means disguise?
Answer. Camouflages.
Or B. Read the following poem and answer the questions set on it. Marks 1 each. Reverie of the Poor Susan by William Wordsworth. At the corner of Wood Street, when daylight appears, hangs a thrush that sings loud. It has sung for 3 years. Poor Susan has passed by the spot and has heard, in the silence of morning, the song of the bird. 'Tis a note of enchantment. What ails her? She sees a mountain ascending, a vision of trees. Bright volumes of vapor through Lothbury glide, and a river flows on through the vale of Cheapside. Green pastures she views in the midst of the dale, down which she so often has tripped with her pail. And a single small cottage, a nest like a dove's, the one only dwelling on earth that she loves. She looks, and her heart is in heaven, but they fade. The mist and the river, the hill and the shade. The stream will not flow, and the hill will not rise. And the colors have all passed away from her eyes. 1. Name any one of the birds mentioned in the poem.
Answer. Thrush.
2. Where does the river flow?
Answer. Through the valley of Cheapside.
3. Which phrase in the poem also means that poor Susan is not alive?
Answer. The colors have all passed away from her eyes.
4. What time of the day is mentioned in the poem?
Answer. Daylight, morning.
5. What is compared to a nest in the poem?
Answer. The small cottage.
6. What does Susan carry when she goes down the green pastures?
Answer. Her pail.
7. Choose the odd combination out. A. Mountain and hill. B. Vapor and mist. C. River and stream. D. Earth and morning.
Answer. D. Earth and morning.
8. Complete the analogy seas, trees, shade.
Answer. Sun.
9. which is the antonym of noise used in the poem?
Answer: silence.
Part D. 31. A. Rewrite as directed. Marks 1 each. 1. Hira is used to come to college. Walk. Use appropriate preposition. Answer: by. Birds mentioned in the poem. 2. Announce that / on Monday at 11 a.m. / the judge / would be given / the verdict. Rearrange the above segments into a meaningful sentence.
Answer: the judge announced that the verdict would be given on Monday at 11 a.m.
3. The sportspersons along with their coach always follow the norms. Use appropriate verb that agrees with the subject. Answer: followed. 4. Manu. Work in this office since 2023. Use the appropriate form of the verb given the brackets. Answer: has been working. Or B. Fill in the blanks with the right linker. Marks 1 each. Besides, but, who, as. Rani Chennapara Devi was the longest ruling queen in Indian history. Ruled Nagaur province for 54 years. History books don't make enough space for. She was only a ruler under Vijayanagar Empire. She was popular for exporting pepper and other spices to European and Arab regions. Answer: who, but, as, besides. 32. A. Rewrite as directed. Marks 1 each. 1. Akash has been trying a lot to get a job. Add a question tag. Answer: Akash has been trying a lot to get a job, hasn't he? 2. They tried to uplift the weaker section of the society. Change into a question using the right form of do. Answer: did they try to uplift the weaker section of society? Or B. Rectify the errors in the following sentences and rewrite them. Marks 1 each. 1. One of my friend is staying in London. Answer: one of my friends is staying in London. 2. Practice makes us perfect. Answer: practice makes us perfect. 32. Read the following passage and make notes by filling the boxes given below. Marks 0.5 each. Convex lenses are thick in the middle and thinner at the edges. A concave lens is flat in the middle and thicker at the edges. A convex lens is also known as the converging lens, as the light rays bend inwards and converge at a point which is known as focal length. On the other hand, the concave lens is also known as a diverging lens because it bends the parallel light rays outward and diverges them at the focal point. 2 types of lenses. In the right form of do. 1. Concave. 2 is also called. 3 is also called. 4. Bends the parallel light rays. Answer: 1. Convex. 2. The converging lens. 3. Diverging lens. 4. Outward. 33. Report the following conversation. Marks 1 each. Alifano, can we talk about your mother? How was your relation with her? Borges, my mother was an extraordinary woman. I should speak of her kindness towards me. She had no enemies. Answer: Alifano asked Borges if they could talk about his mother and how his relationship with her was. Borges replied that his mother was an extraordinary woman and that he should speak of her kindness towards him. He added that she had no enemies. 34. Complete the following dialogue. Marks 1 each. Prakash, hi. Greets. Answer: Prakash, hi Shweta, how are you? Shweta, hi Prakash. Good morning. How is your health now? Prakash, I am quite okay now. Expresses gratitude. Can you give me the notes of yesterday's classes? Answer: I am quite okay now. Thanks for asking. Can you give me the notes of yesterday's classes? Shweta agrees. Answer: Shweta, sure, I will give them to you after class. Prakash, so kind of you. Bye. Part E. 35A. Write a letter of application in response to the following advertisement that appeared in the Times of India dated August 11th, 2024. 5 marks. Wanted. Data entry operators. Qualification. PUC. Knowledge of using computers and Kannada and English typing. Apply within 10 days to the HR manager. Grow Ahead Marketing Solutions. Raheja Towers. MG Road, Bangalore, 560001. Write X for name and Y for your address. Answer. Application for the post of data entry operator. From X name, Y address, MG Road, Bangalore, 560,001. Date, August 12th, 2024. 2. The HR manager. Grow Ahead Marketing Solutions. Raheja Towers, MG Road, Bangalore, 560,001. Subject. Application for the post of data entry operator. Dear Sir/Madam, I am writing in response to the advertisement published in the Times of India on August 11th, 2024, for the position of data entry operator at Grow Ahead Marketing Solutions. I would like to express my interest in applying for this position. I have completed my PUC and possess the required knowledge of computer operations. I am proficient in both Kannada and English typing and am confident in my ability to perform data entry tasks efficiently. My attention to detail and ability to work in a fast-paced environment would allow me to contribute effectively to your team. I have enclosed my resume for your reference. I am available for an interview at your convenience and look forward to the opportunity to discuss my qualifications in greater detail. Thank you for considering my application. I hope to hear from you soon. Yours faithfully, X. Enclosure, resume. Or B. Assume that you are the Secretary of the College Student Union. You are asked to speak on the importance World Wildlife Day at the Assembly. Prepare a speech in about 120 words using the following information. 5 marks. Importance of coexisting with other species, decreasing forests, animals entering the villages, the role of citizens in conserving wildlife, informing the Forest Department about smuggling of parts of animals. Answer. Good morning, everyone. As the Secretary of the College Student Union, I am honored to speak on the importance of World Wildlife Day. Today, we recognize the urgent need to coexist with other species on our planet. Due to the decreasing forests, many animals are being forced to venture into villages, leading to human-animal conflicts. It is crucial that we understand the role we play in conserving wildlife and the environment. Each one of us has a responsibility to protect the wildlife around us. By reducing our carbon footprint, avoiding deforestation, and supporting conservation efforts, we can make a difference. It's also vital to report any illegal activity, such as the smuggling of animal parts, to the Forest Department to protect endangered species. Let's commit to preserving nature for future generations. Thank you.